Hi everyone, this is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Vechain. Once again, thank you for your continued support, okay? Really do appreciate it all. If you're not a member of the Patreon, do head over to the Patreon, get involved now with the community, and there's some great content in there, and a big thumbs up to each and every one of you in there, and the warm comments, and especially Captain that's doing a lot of content as well, so it's all gold, it's all great, it's all golden. So right now you can see that the Vechain is basically almost, it's not quite yet made that lower low there. Do you see that? Well, what it's done is it's basically whipped off the 1618. It's just caught a level of support just above. Do you see that? But what's looking likely right now, okay, you can see it's effectively rolling in a bit, is the ABC correction which we gave you when Vechain was up here, and we noticed this Elliott wave theory, okay, the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, and then the wave 4 pullback with the ABC correction in there. When you make an ABC, sometimes the C wave it's the same length as the B wave, and that's the A wave, sorry, and that's why we said that potentially if it is the same length of the A wave, that's why you would come down to the yellow line, okay, which is where the 20 weekly EMA is right now. So we do anticipate that Bitcoin did exactly that. It came back down to that 43k, and Vechain's doing exactly the same thing. XRP is sort of kind of doing the same thing. It's almost breaking that high, so that could invalidate that ABC correction on XRP, and which is again an example of where the C wave is not necessarily the same length of the A wave, and this can happen. But you do target the A, B, C correction as being the same length, so to speak. So this is what I'm saying to you. So you've got the A wave down, and then you've got the B wave up, which is a lower high, and then the C wave, which usually is the same length as the A wave, and if it was, that's why we go for that target down there, that yellow line, which is now where you've seen the 20 EMA creep up to. And I tell you what, if you get that down there, that little kiss, fantastic entry point in my opinion for Vechain in this bull run, because we do anticipate that hopefully it holds, which it should do theoretically, because we're looking at that wave 4 after that retest there, boom, straight up to there to $1.50, and as I've outlined so many times, okay, that potentially you could be looking at a further longer extended wave 5 than this particular wave 5 here that we've given you off the length of wave 1, because wave 5 can be the second longest wave, of course, and can sometimes be as long as the third wave, and if it is, you're looking at $4 per Vechain, which is absolutely amazing, isn't it? So right now it's doing relatively well. I know we're breaking down and we're sort of rolling a little bit, but that was anticipated, to be honest with you, from CoinsKid. From, you know, we're always transparent with you, and we told you today, Doc, just anticipate that you're going to hit your head and roll. And up here, I remember lots of people, there was lots of bullish comments as well, and the market was greedy in itself as well, okay, and that's always an indicator of greed, effectively, because that's an indicator that the market's too bullish and too greedy, and that's why you see that rollover. And at the moment, there is a lot of fear, and in fact, we're going to look at the fear and greed index right now, and we can see exactly where we are in the sentiment of the markets. So you can see with the crypto fear and greed index, we're in extreme fear, okay, and I remember last week it was at greed, last month it was extreme greed, and look, we've started to roll into fear and extreme fear right now, because obviously the market's correcting, and these are the optimal entry points, like I've told you so many times, okay, when it's in absolute fear. They're good opportunities, not financial advice, but they're great entry points in my opinion. Now, right now, what I'm going to do is jump back to Vechain on the weekly, because remember what I said to you so many times here. I do anticipate, okay, we're going through a correction, you know we are, and there's no denying that, and it just coming back down. You're holding support relatively well. If you do come back down to the 20, so be it. Personally, put some cheeky bits in there, but again, not financial advice. But right now, look at the RSI, okay, look at the RSI starting to come back down. If we can actually come down to this sort of yellow line right now, just sort of there, where this the beginning of the third wave was, look at that, wow, okay, and that, you could see why we could have a huge monster fifth wave into the summer there, and towards the latter part of the year for Vechain, and just absolutely melt faces with it, and it'd be amazing opportunity for everyone involved. People buying down here and the holding, so you know what, you need a medal, because you've done really well. Look down there at 0.0000000, it goes on and on and on, 0.00016. Brilliant, fantastic, congratulations to each and every one of you that had belief in the project when it was absolutely in the floor down here. Look at the RSI, the optimal opportunities, okay, remember this, the RSI, when you're oversold, boom, in the floor, they're the optimal opportunities to get involved in a particular project right now. And like I said to you, another key indicator on the RSI, okay, on the MACD especially, not necessarily RSI, on the MACD, okay, on the MACD, when you see this, okay, this is always indicative of a decent entry point, and right now you can see it got rejected off that. I did put this on Twitter, okay, when you got the MACD, okay, and you got this blue line is crosses the orange line under the histogram right here. So you've got this, okay, so you're under the histogram because this is the signal line and this is the moving average line, okay, and once this line, the blue line, goes above the orange line, it forms a bullish cross. Under the MACD is a fantastic entry point to put some cheeky bids in, and you can see right now it's picking up a little bit. If you do get a rejection again and come down to the 20, that's where you could see the turn, the bullish cross, fantastic entry point. You've had the retest and a continuation in the bull market for Vechain, which would be golden, wouldn't it? So it's looking relatively healthy. You're getting a nice bit of pickup here. So what we're going to do is jump into the 4-hourly time frame right now to see what we can see for Vechain. Yes, looking at Vechain on the 4-hourly time frame, then you can see you are caught in a bit of a downtrend right now. You're under the EMAs basically. You're under the 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame. What is actually quite good here is this gap. Okay, this gap is quite large, and that's always indicative of a reversal in any trend, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Now, if you can get back above the 20, and do anticipate that if you can get back above this 20 on the 4-hourly time frame, then you might see a little pickup here for Vechain. You could see a sort of little reversal trend right there. But obviously, as you're aware, we've got the ABC correction, and potentially, you know, you look like you're coming down to test 20, don't you, on this ABC correction right now? Because you can see what you've done. You've effectively just bottomed out here. You've got this bottom, which is very, very solid. You've had that wick down, which was obviously the A wave down there. Do you see that? And then obviously you've got this B wave down here, which, like I said to you, it doesn't have to be the same length. It can just be this. So do anticipate that this could actually be the low. But again, obviously, if you do start to lose this low, this is why I've said to you, if you start to see Vechain close below 0.15, it's adding more confidence to the fact that you may potentially come down to retest the 20 weekly EMA. Okay, the possible deeper C wave pullback right there for Vechain. So if you do start to see Vechain lose that level of support, okay, and hit its head as resistance and close below it, because look, you can see you've wicked down basically. You've wicked down. I know where you've wicked down. You've wicked down to a previous high, haven't you? Yeah, you've wicked down to that high there, okay, because that's what you do when you fall down. You land on previous highs. Do you see that's a swing high? So that was a great place to put some cheeky bids in right there. Target your swing highs when you're basically cascading, okay. So right now you can see that if Vechain does sort of lose this key level of support right now and fails to get back above a 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, then you could be looking at a lovely little short opportunity right here. But I'm going to zoom in on the hourly time frame because you might have some kind of reversal pattern on the go right there. But target the 4-hourly as well. If you do start hitting your head, it's effectively pushing you down, just like you did here. You got a little bit of a recovery here, didn't you? You formed this sort of a higher low, and it looked like you're reversing. You come back up, you've hit your head, and you've rolled again, hit your head, you've rolled again. So effectively, you're carrying out a very similar situation here, but you are sitting on a very, very strong bottom at the moment. Look, multiple bottom tests. Do you see that? So if it holds, great, because that's a retest of a rock solid bottom, and you may see the reversal where you may see yourself get back above 20, back to the support, march on, get through to 55, take out this 0.19 and just get this sort of continuation trend for Vechain onwards and upwards. But like I said to you, I'm always going to show you resistance and support. Now if you lose this support, then do look at a little cheeky long down to those particular lower targets right there, carrying out that ABC correction right there and that deeper C wave down to the 20 weekly EMA right there for Vechain. So what I'm going to do is jump on the hourly time frame right now. Yeah, so looking at the hourly, that looks quite positive actually. What you've done here with Vechain, you've come down, you've made this low, and then you've made this high low just there. Do you see that? And effectively, that's what you're getting now. You're getting this little pickup, this reversal pattern of this. So what I'm going to do is drop this particular pattern in there, like level of resistance, down to there like that. And you can see that Vechain has effectively broke the resistance, back to support, and now it's marching on. So this is where you could see Vechain get above this 20 on the hourly time frame, okay, and get a little bit of a march on, and that would bring a bit more confidence into the market right here. Because on the hourly, look, you've come down, you've made a low, then you've come down and made a lower low, but then what you've done, you've reversed the trend and you've made a high low. So right now you've broke a level of resistance, you're back testing the support. Potentially you could see a little bit of upside for Vechain right here. And I would imagine if it does continue as well, you've got this sort of resistance level here as well, okay, which is another pattern. Do you see this, where you've come up like this? Effectively, let me show you, okay. So tidy this up, because there's all patterns and resistance as you're going along. So obviously, as you know, you've got the breakout target of this kind of little reversal trend right now, and what you've got is also this. You've made a low, come down, made a lower low, then you've come down, made another lower low, then a higher low, and effectively you're still making high lows with a level of resistance in the middle. Do you see that? So again, if you do start to break that, you've got a little breakout target, roughly something like that from there, which would see you come back up to that 0.19 cents. So effectively you roll it, you reverse the trend, so to speak. You reverse just like you did here off this low. Effectively it's a rinse repeat, basically, where you come down, you've had the wick down on the bottom, then you start to make high lows. Do you see that? And you start to come back up, got through the EMAs, come back up, and you've hit a level of resistance at 0.19. Do you see that? So that could be on the cards of Vechain. It could be, absolutely. So from here right now, if you do start to break these levels of resistance, that's a 13% upside for Vechain. But again, obviously, if you do start to see the roll and you're losing the EMAs on the hourly and you start to come down, if you do start to lose this level of support right here, then you are looking at further downside for Vechain. Potentially coming back down to test this 0.13 with a deeper wave correction right there on the weekly 20 EMA for Vechain. So yeah, so keep an eye on that. If you see Vechain coming back up and breaking this particular level of resistance right there, you could see a nice little upside to sort of 0.19207 for Vechain, and that might be it. That might be the C wave done, you know, because this is what XRP's done. It's had a shorter C wave at the moment. Obviously it's not out of the woods yet. It could correct further, but you know that the C wave doesn't have to be as deep as the A wave, and that could be it. And if you can get a nice reversal here, you could be looking at potential upside, and effectively, like I said to you, you've got this sort of pattern on the go right here for Vechain, where you've got this kind of we'll look at it on the weekly. Like I said to you, it's a bull pennant effectively, like this, and then something like this. Okay, where you potentially come back up, hit your head on resistance, come back down and trade in the apex of the bull pennant. Like I said to you, this is on the hourly time frame as well, so it's a bit congested. Do something like this until you get the breakout to the upside after this level of consolidation for Vechain. So do anticipate that as well, because that's a potential pattern that's at play. Okay, so like I said to you, if you start to close this bottom here, then you're rolling and you're looking at deeper C wave correction right there for Vechain. So yeah, that's Vechain in a nutshell. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Vechain, but it's looking relatively healthy, this little reversal that it's got going on. Let's see some more upside. Okay, break them levels of resistance, and you're looking at potential 0.1923 Vechain token right there. Come on, Vechain. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.